Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Amos. Let's go ahead and take a look at what would happen if you went all in and bought 500 shares of SCHD. And just a heads up, my delivery format is through a PowerPoint presentation. So if you have a short attention span, you might get your panties all up in a bunch. And as a side quest, we're going to beg the question if retirement is a possibility from going all in with SCHD. And why are we even messing around with SCHD? Why not just a high yield savings account or something else? Well, let's go ahead and look at the facts. SCHD is an index fund, meaning it trades as one share that has about 100 different companies in its portfolio. So when you buy one share, you actually buy into 100 different companies. And on the left side of your screen, those are the top 10 holdings within SCHD, the 10 most popular companies. And right now, SCHD currently trades for about $80 a share, and their dividend yield is about 3.6%, meaning you get about 80 cents in dividends every 3 months, or about $3 in a single calendar year. And SCHD's dividend, the $3 you get a year, it grows annually at a rate of 11% for the past 10 years. And when we look at the past 5 years, it would have grown by 12.8%. And when we compare SCHD up against another very popular index fund that we call VU, aka the S&P 500, the performance for the past 10 years from January of 2015 to July of 2024 is pretty surprising. With an initial $10,000 invested into either one and reinvesting all of the dividends back into it to buy more shares, the outcome would have been 28 grand for SCHD and 31 grand for VU, which means your money would have grown at a rate of 11.4% for SCHD, and for VU, your money would have grown at a rate of 12.8% year over year. But here's the kicker. During VU's worst year, which was back in 2022, they dropped by negative 18%, as you can see by this teal bar graph right here. On the other end, with SCHD and their worst year back in 2018, which is reflected by the blue bar graph right here, they only dropped by negative 5%. So SCHD is an interesting index fund that kind of behaves like a bond in that its volatility to the downside is really low in comparison to the market's average, while still having a sweet, juicy dividend yield. And take it from me, at one point in my life, I used to be a hater of SCHD, and since then, I have come around. Now I think SCHD is a really sound investment option. If you want to hear more, then watch the videos that I made on SCHD by searching it on my channel. But isn't it an awful time to be investing into the stock market right now? There is fear and uncertainty surrounding Wall Street. And when we look at the Fear and Greed Index, which is what you see right here, this meter, the sentiment among investors is fearful. And if you Google the word recession, things don't look too good for the US economy. And I know it sounds crazy and counterintuitive, but now is exactly when I like to throw in more money into stocks than usual. So if I usually only put in $50, dollar cost averaging, right now when everyone else is fearful, I'll bump it up to $100. If you want me to expand upon my logic and reasoning, then go ahead and watch the video that I made why I invest when everyone is fearful. But getting back on topic, maybe you're tired of holding cash or investing into speculative crap and you happen to have $40,000 after you sold for a loss. Well, that's how much it would cost to buy 500 SCHD shares right now. And let's go ahead and assume that you contribute $500 a month into your portfolio to buy more SCHD shares. And the dividends we get from SCHD every 3 months, they're going to be reinvested into the portfolio to buy more shares. With those variables in place and about $40,000 invested into SCHD, what's going to happen after 25 years? In the first year, if you look at the left side of your screen, the dividend income is going to be trash. It's about $1,400 in a year. Then, 3 years later, it's going to be just shy of $3,000 a year in dividends. However, when you sprint on down through the years, at the start of year 25, the dividend income that you're going to get from this SCHD investment is going to be $87,000. And at the end of year 25, that dividend income is going to be about $104,000. And if we look at the portfolio valuation, the story looks just as good as the dividend growth that we saw right here. So after starting out with an initial $40,000 invested into SCHD, that would turn into that beautiful six-figure number after year 5. And then at the end of year 10, this number would double into $220,000. And after 25 years, the portfolio valuation should be about $1.5 million. My friends, my brother in Christ, that is what we call the compounding effect. And before you think it's because you made all of those contributions and you put in $40,000 to begin with and that's why the portfolio is big, please sit down and drink some water. That initial $40,000 with the $500 monthly contribution adds up to $190,000 over the span of 25 years of your own money being thrown into the portfolio. But the cool thing is, the market does most of the heavy lifting. Throughout the 25 years, that principal amount of $190,000 would have grown to $1.5 million with the help of dividends being reinvested to buy more shares. So I guess the important question here is, if you were to hold on to cash for 25 years, you would have $190,000. Or would you rather have $1.5 million? I don't know about you, but I would absolutely be happy with having $190,000 in cash after 25 years of working hard and saving my money. But I would rather have $1.5 million by investing the money and having the stock market grow my money, having my money work for me instead. So to answer the initial question at the beginning of the video, after 25 years and a dividend income of about $104,000 in a single year, retirement is absolutely a possibility. Unless, of course, you're a former NFL quarterback that feels like you still have more to offer to the game. And to be honest, I have a lot of respect to the NFL players that retire and come back because they think they can sling the rock better than young 22-year-olds. And I apologize for making so many NFL references in my past few videos. It's just that I'm really excited for the NFL preseason to start this weekend. So I guess that's my fair warning to you. As the football season starts, I guess I'm going to be making a lot more references of college football and the NFL going forward. But for my folks that want to contribute less money, let's do this experiment again with 50 initial SCHD shares instead. So, starting out with $4,000 invested into SCHD and making $150 monthly contributions, what would happen after 25 years? After 25 years, with smaller numbers, you would still end up a happy camper. The final portfolio valuation would be worth $330,000. And the dividend income would be a receding hairline short of $22,000 a year. These are the numbers after 25 years, which I think is still respectable and juicy and cute. So there you have it, folks. That's what going all in on SCHD would look like. So with that said, stay safe and I'll talk to you next time.